Coming up, family, friends, and an entire community gathered yesterday to say a final goodbye to a Pike County deputy. Attorney General William Barr talks to CBS about the ongoing debate about the Mueller report. And several members of the community are coming together to help out employees of a Bell County hospital.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. Your time is 6:31 on Friday, May the 31st. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. Well, today is going to be a much cooler day than we've seen for the past 2 weeks, and it's a welcomed relief. Those thunderstorms that we saw Wednesday and the rain we saw yesterday and we'll see a little bit today is making it all possible. Let's bring Brandon in this morning to give you a better breakdown. And Brandon, there is one guarantee we know today is that the fog is going to hit you when on your way out as you head to work or take your kids to their last couple days of school. What can we expect on this Friday as a whole?
Fog to start, rain to kind of be right there in the middle, hopefully dry to end. That's kind of the forecast in a nutshell, but as you mentioned, much cooler. Let's take a look at the last 6 hours here on the satellite and radar, and you can see not a whole lot of activity, but starting to kind of fire up again ahead of that cold front. There's your big problem this morning. Close to zero visibility in a lot of areas. Temperatures upper 50s in southwest Virginia, upper 60s in East Tennessee, low to mid 60s there across most of the area. App forecast this morning. You can download that for free on all the app stores. Scattered chances for showers and storms. Nothing severe, just garden variety. And temperatures in the low 70s today, low to mid 70s. The rest of the forecast on the way here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Mr. Robinson. Thank you, sir. Well, family and loved ones said their final goodbyes to Danny Taylor, who served as a county worker and a deputy for the Pike County Sheriff's Office yesterday afternoon. WYMT's Buddy Forbes tells us was there and tells us about the man loved by so many.
A thin blue line ran through the roads of Pike County today.
This has been a tragic loss for our community.
As the procession for Danny Taylor made its way to the Lick Creek area. Taylor was killed while working on a job for the county last week.
We've got about 180, 200 employees in Pike County government. We had no one that worked as hard as Danny.
Which friends say is only one of the many jobs he had.
He held several jobs, at one time.
No matter how many jobs he worked, friends say serving the county was important to him.
He had dedicated a lot of his life to serving Pike County.
They say he touched everyone who knew him.
Super good guy, good neighbor. Gonna be missed.
And his legacy of service will live on forever. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, Jones said he hopes the family can find some comfort in the days to come and added that the county is working to avoid anything like this happening again in the future. Well, for the first time this week, there was no sighting yesterday of a wanted man in Whitley County. Nicholas Rucker went on the run more than a week ago. Rucker is accused of killing his girlfriend, 57-year-old Vicki Connor. She was found dead last Wednesday in Corbin. Rucker was spotted a couple of times earlier this week. Police say he is considered armed and dangerous. If you see Rucker, you're asked to call police. A Floyd County businessman charged with trying to get underage girls to have sex with him is out of jail this morning. Bobby Blackburn posted a $5,000 bond. We dug deeper into his background. He owns Giovanni's Pizza in Prestonsburg. We also learned he is actually the pastor of a church. This is video of him in 2016 when we did a story on his business sparking controversy. Police say Blackburn messaged an underage girl who worked for him asking her to, quote, have a threesome. He faces a charge of prohibited use of an electronic device to procure a minor. Blackburn is scheduled to appear in court June 19th. A former Kentucky teacher is accused of sending nude photos to a former student. According to his arrest warrant, Jordan Chapman sent multiple pictures and videos of his genitals through Snapchat to a 17-year-old. Madison County Schools tells us Chapman was a teacher at Madison Southern from the fall of 2015 until the spring of 2018. We also learned from Grayson County Schools that he was employed there from July of last year until February of this year. He taught high school social studies. 2 women in Laurel County are charged after deputies say they were high while caring for children. Deputies arrested Carrie Garland and Sandra Estep. A social services complaint led to the call to deputies. Both women are charged with wanton endangerment and marijuana possession. The Tennessee Highway Patrol is searching for a hit-and-run suspect in Claiborne County. It happened on Thursday night involving a bicyclist who officials say is an older man with a disability. The police say the suspect could be driving an older black Ford Ranger with a chrome bumper and no step side, a white Ford F-150, possibly a 1995 to 2003 model. Investigators said the suspect's vehicle could also be a silver PT Cruiser. Anyone with information is asked to call THP. One man is seriously injured this morning after crashing into a mobile home yesterday here in Perry County. About 3 Thursday afternoon, the Grapevine Chavies Volunteer Fire Department responded to the scene on Coal Ridge Drive. When they got there, they found a man inside the car and called for help to get him out. He was taken to Hazard ARH and then on to UK Hospital, where he was last listed in critical condition. No word on what caused the crash. No one inside the home was hurt. A Mexican senator from the president's party was wounded after receiving a book that contained an explosive device. The incident happened on Wednesday in the Senate building in Mexico City. According to members of her party, the legislator's office was filled with smoke after the detonation. She had minor injuries to her face. Authorities are investigating the case. Former Mississippi Republican Senator Thad Cochran died Thursday morning. Cochran resigned from the Senate last April due to health issues. He also served in Congress after first being elected in 1972. A cause of death was not disclosed. His longtime spokesman said services are still pending. Cochran was 81. President Trump is again lashing out at former special counsel Robert Mueller. The president resumed his attacks a day after Mueller resigned from the Justice Department. Before departing, Mueller reiterated his written report's finding about obstruction of justice.
If we had had confidence that the president clearly did not commit a crime, we would have said.
In an exclusive interview with CBS this morning, Attorney General William Barr told Jan Crawford he was surprised Mueller didn't make a decision. Congressman Adam Schiff, the chair of the House Intelligence Committee, has called for Barr's resignation. Meanwhile, Missouri is hours away from making history. It could become the first state in the United States where legal abortions are unavailable since the Roe v. Wade decision decades ago. Missouri's last abortion clinic's license is scheduled to expire at midnight. Governor Mike Parson says numerous violations of state laws and regulations were found at the facility.
They're aware of all the deficiencies that they have. They can still comply with those requirements, and if they comply with them, they'll be issued a license.
Planned Parenthood says they've tried to comply with rules and the state continues to change them. Now, community members helped hospital employees meet basic needs while they wait for paychecks. Local orthopedic surgeon Dr. Ronald Dubin and management at Long's Pick Pack and Long's One and Up in Pineville came together to buy gift cards to stores for hospital employees at the Southeastern Kentucky Medical Center. Both sponsors say the work ethic of the hospital employees make them heroes in their community.
I know it's a mere pittance. I know it's a lot of money. They can't live on that very long, but it's an appreciation from us for what they do.
Each employee got $100 worth of vouchers. A group of Johnson County Middle School students were honored for their hard work yesterday. We introduced you to this group in February. The Jewel Breakers were the driving force behind Senate Bill 218 that focused on stopping vaping in schools. While their bill did not pass, they were instrumental in passing another tobacco bill, which they were honored for on Thursday.
It's really heartwarming just to see that our efforts do go some way and they are getting appreciated.
It was really amazing to just have our efforts recognized by so many important people.
The tobacco bill was House Bill 11. It leaves it up to the school districts to set their own no tobacco policy. Well, it's 6:39 on this Friday morning. It's a foggy start, but Brandon's got some good news. The temps, they're going to be tolerable. B-Rob?
Yes, they are, and we're going to see again that fog around most of the region this morning until you get up high where you see some blue skies trying to filter in there on top of Buffalo Mountain. We're going to continue to track that. Up on Whitesburg Pine Mountain, though, a little bit of fog hanging tough there as we go toward daylight there off in the distance. You'll see it once we get around there. There it is, and we'll continue to watch that be a problem for a lot of folks in the valleys this morning. Less than a mile of visibility, so be careful. Low beams for sure. Make sure you use those this morning. Look at the temperatures already in the 50s in Southwest Virginia, low 60s, mid 60s across most of the area, even cooling down across the state. 64 Owensboro, 60 in Paducah, and 64 in Lexington this morning. Out the door forecast, we are going to feature, temperatures are only in the low to mid 70s today. Maybe upper 70 if you're lucky, but that rain chances will continue as the cold front passes by. Will?
All righty, Brandon. Thank you, sir. Well, we will have stories that are trending on WYMT.com next. As always, thank you for joining us right here on Mountain News this morning. Well, you know the saying, everyone's a winner. That was actually the case at last night's Scripps National Spelling Bee.